Good morning. Well, it might not be morning when you're watching this video. Shortly, Chair Fit&Vital Life. I've just been speaking to a couple of girls who are thinking about coming in January, and they are now, after I spoke to them, cleared up some of their concerns. Now, if you're having any of these concerns, it might be worthwhile coming down for a chat. We can clear this up. But I've made a note of them, and I want to share them with you to see if it will help you make a decision on whether or not you want to come along or not. So, do any of these resonate, right? You're sick of all the boot camps. You tried them all before. Maybe they worked when you were 20s, when you had a holiday and you wanted to strip off a few pounds, but now it's not really sustainable. It's too hardcore. You're sick of it. It's hard to keep up that level of intensity. If any of that resonates with you, then this is going to be a good place for you to go. Because as we get older, let's face it, those cardio things, they just get harder and harder to sustain. And sometimes they might even keep working, right? It's time to start looking after the body in a different way. When you're getting to your perimenopause and postmenopause years, it's more beneficial to look after your body by doing some strength training, because you naturally, anyway, even as you age, you're naturally deteriorating, right? I know it sounds brutal, but it's true. So you want to be able to maintain your body. And whilst cardio is great for your cardiovascular health, like your heart and things like that, you want to protect the things that are deteriorating and literally reducing as the years go by. So you're losing bone density, you're losing muscle mass, your joints are getting weaker, and you probably feel this, right? Maybe when you're doing all this running and stuff like that, you're feeling the pain of it, right? Building strength by doing weight training, which is what we specialize in, is going to help minimize those pains and those restrictions that you have, and the general feeling of struggling to get about as you get older. If you're feeling right now that you're strong like your legs and arms, but you're just gathering a lot of weight around the midsection, then, but despite perceiving to be the right things, loads of cardio, heavily restricting your nutrition, then you've got to be questioning, well, does that even work now, right? Because if you're doing what's supposed to be right, like eating less, exercising a lot, what's wrong? What's happening? Why isn't that working? That's what you need to do, right? And that is true. But as a woman, you need to be a bit more careful with your nutrition and also your training, especially as you're getting older. You've got to look after the body. The body needs some rest. It needs some downtime. You need to look after it. It needs to recover from the exercise you're doing, especially if you're doing intense exercise and you're doing a lot of hardcore boot camps like I mentioned before. You need to have a lot of rest time. Your results happen during rest. Training every single day, run yourself into the ground, is not going to get you anywhere fast, right? As I'm saying, it might actually be doing the opposite effect, because you're not giving your body a chance to repair, recover, and adapt to what you're trying to do. You're trying to lose weight, but you're not giving the body the time to lose weight. All the weight loss and the results and the benefits in training that happen during rest, not during your training. So you need to have a more balanced rest. That's why here in our gym, our focus, the sessions, is on a balanced routine of, we'll have strong, heavy sessions, lighter sessions, and rest in between. That's what I encourage. I'm not going to be telling you to do 4 or 5 sessions a week from the get-go, and you've got to run yourself in the ground for 6 weeks. That's not what we do here. We take a balanced approach. We're thinking long-term. We're trying to build up a foundation. We're trying to build a body that's going to last you for years and years and years, not just lose a few inches in 8 weeks, right? So, also, there's something else to consider, but from a nutritional point of view. If you're eating less and less and less and find yourself gaining weight or not losing weight, then that initially sparks a problem. You're saying, well, that doesn't make any sense. Aren't you supposed to lose weight by eating less? And yes, to a point. But again, very similar to what I'm talking about in terms of repairing the body. The body needs fuel. It needs the energy that you're going to be depleting. It needs some of that back to help fuel the results you want. Also, as well, as a woman, you've got to consider things like your menstrual cycle. And from an evolutionary standpoint, what I learned in the book Raw by Dr. Stacey Sims, who's a specialist in female physiology when it comes to athletes more so, but also just female physiology in general. She explains that from an evolutionary standpoint, there is this concept that women have developed this ability to hold on to body fat when they feel the body feels under threat, that it's not going to be getting enough food. If you think about like when we were, and by the way, holding on to the body fat for food, for fuel later, because so the body can utilize that fat later because there's nowhere else next going to get food. That's what I mean by that. Because if you think about like when we were like cavemen or whatever, or well, not cavemen, but like times when food wasn't readily available like it is now, we'd go long periods of time without eating anything. Men would go out and hunt, and the women could spend days without eating food. And what she explains is that over time, the body has evolved to kind of still feel that way now. So when you're eating less and less and less, your body feels like it's under a state of famine, and therefore it doesn't burn as much calories as you want it to burn, especially when you're doing hardcore training, because it needs the fuel to survive. If you're not eating enough food, your body thinks that it's not getting enough food, and it's not going to get enough food anytime soon, so it holds on to it. It's a little bit of a weird one to understand, and especially when you're thinking, oh, I need to eat less to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. But if you're eating less and not losing weight, then that should tell you that it's not right to keep doing what you're doing. So something to consider there is to try eating a little bit more, eating good quality food. It doesn't have to be like, oh, now I can eat whatever I want kind of thing. But you've got to give the body what it needs, right? The body needs nutrition. The body needs the basics. It needs proteins. It needs essential fats. I suppose to an extent, it would need a little bit of carbohydrates, although that's debated. Maybe it's not necessarily 100% essential. It needs the vitamins. It needs the minerals. It needs all that stuff. So if you're eating next to nothing, right, you're not giving the body what it needs, it's going to struggle to lose weight. So you've got to change your mindset around that. And that's what I help you do here in this gym. And that's what I've just been talking about to the girls here who came in, about how I can make that shift into a more sustainable eating approach, as opposed to let's eat hardly anything to lose weight in 6 weeks. No, we're not doing that yet. And if you've got a busy life and you struggle with like fitting in the times, and you might be worrying that, oh, I can't commit to this because I'm going away next week, I'm going away next weekend, I'm going on holiday here, I'm going on holiday there. We've got plenty of flexible approaches. You don't have to be in a restrictive, hardcore approach where you've got to do this time, this time for 8 weeks, and you can't miss a session. And if you do, it's the end of the world. Again, we're not like every other gym like that. It's not about that here. Of course, you need to be in a consistent routine of some kind, but you don't have to stick to the same time every single week, and you can be flexible with your approach depending on what you do, and you can do pay-as-you-go sessions here. You can pay monthly here. You can be flexible between those two. There's no contract restrictions on either one. And if you're doing the 8-week program, it's been most beneficial to try and get 2, 3, build up maybe to 4 sessions a week over time. But if you're going away during that 8-week period, or if you end up being ill or whatever, we simply pause it, and you can continue when you come back, so you don't lose any time. It's not the end of the world if you have to go away for a week because you're on holiday with the family. It doesn't matter. You don't lose any time. It's only 1 week. It's fine, okay? We're trying to build long-term habits here. It doesn't matter if within 8 weeks you have a little bit of time off. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to kill you. We're thinking long-term. The 8 weeks is all about just getting you going. It's not the beginning. It's not the end. It's not the be-all and end-all. It's not make or break. It's just to give you the right habits over a good period of time to kickstart a long-term process of getting the best results possible. I hope this video has helped. If you want to chat about joining, come down to the gym. Let me know. Shoot me a message. There might be a link around this video, and we can chat. Take care.